Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna be recording this, and I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Patty's Pointers for myWeichert, and I will send you guys a link today. I apologize for the length of time between our session 2 and this session. Just personal things have not gone well for me in January, but I'm back. And so we'll be doing these sessions now today and Friday. So every Wednesday and Friday. We go through to session 7, and then we'll do basically the last one will be a open forum. And for that time frame on that last Friday, we'll just come in and talk about whatever you might want to talk about within the system. All right, that's my game plan. So today, we're going to build our master listing presentation. And I know some of you, I may have already done that with, so have patience with me as we go through it. And then obviously, if you have questions, please unmute yourself and ask them or put them in the chat. And I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. It's hard when I'm sharing my screen, but I will keep checking it. All right, and the other thing I wanted to talk about today is your DocuSign. As a Weichert agent, you are entitled to a free DocuSign account through the Weichert. So you should have gotten an email invite from your MTS or from your manager saying, you know, go to DocuSign and sign up. If you have not, please reach out to them, because that's going to become important as you start doing your business. You'll want your forms online to go through your DocuSign, and eventually all of that information is going to come into here to our transactions. So you might as well from the get-go get yourselves all ready for that. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go into Weichert Tools down on the left-hand side. we're in my.weichert.com. So, and if you're going to split your screen and kind of work side by side, that's great. If you want to, you know, log in on your phone and use your computer screen to work alongside, whatever works best for you. Okay, so let me just go back a second. This is your dashboard when you log into myWeichert. So everything that goes on will show up here on your dashboard as you start reaching out to people and they start getting back to you. The one thing I did forget and I want to ask you is this agent success plan. You should be already in there and working. It's a 4-week training class, and it really is just going to keep going over what we're going to talk about here, what your manager's probably already talked to you about a couple of times. All right, so try to be in there and keep going with that. At the end of each week, it says that you should go to a webinar, but if you can't, because they're very specific times, don't worry about it, just go on to the next week and try to get your 4 weeks done in, you know, the next 6 weeks, I would say. All right, that's over here in the agent success plan. All right, so on the left side here, this little 3 hamburger thing here kind of opens and closes the sidebar, which gives you more visual. All right, but it also will help you find things when we're talking about it. All right, the icons, eventually you get used to them, but in the beginning, we don't expect you to recognize all the icons. So we're going to go down to Weichert Tools. And the reason why we stress making your master listing presentation now is because as you start to reach out to people, and I've seen it time and time again, you'll get somebody who says, oh my gosh, I was thinking about selling my house. So we want you to be prepared. So we build the master, and then you customize it to each person who you're going to go have a listing presentation visit with. Now, depending on what office you're in, you may have a mentor that will go with you on your first one. Sometimes the manager will go with you. Okay, but when you get that call to talk to somebody about listing their house, make sure you're talking to your manager so that you have that support. We don't expect you to know everything right away. Okay, so the manager will go with you, and they can answer all the questions that you may not be able to answer yet. So under projects is where you're going to find it. So we're going to go in under select a customer. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. So what I want you to do is I want you to put in your information. So it's going to be your name, your first name, your last name, and your home address. And this is internal, so it's not, nobody sees it. So I don't want you to worry about it. Okay, we're just setting it up so that the next time you only have to do the few customized pages. So you're going to put in your zip code, and then it should pull up a city. If there's several ones for your zip code, just choose the one that is correct. All right, and then we're going to hit next. So now, I know some of you, I sent out the email and said, you know, try to have a picture of your house, because I want you to kind of see exactly what your customer is going to see when you go. So we're going to add a photo, and you're just going to scroll down. You'll see here, it'll take you to the browse. And then wherever you may have put the photo, you're going to go find it. I'm just going to grab one. All right, once the photo comes in, I want you to hit this default image, because that is going to place that photo into the presentation everywhere it belongs. Now, if you have gone to the house and you took a couple of other pictures, feel free to add them in. Okay, so you have a couple of internal pictures. You can just add them into the presentation, and do not hit the default on these, okay? It's only the one at the front of the house that you want to have as the default. The rest of these we'll add as we go. All right, and then you got to go down and hit the little next, which sometimes is hidden behind the bar at the bottom, so you may have to close it. Okay, so now that was the profile information we just did. Now we're going to go into the presentation itself. I have to add an associate, so just give me a second. Yours should automatically have you in there. Oh, that didn't work. There she is. Okay, so up in the right-hand corner should be your photo, which pulls from the myWeichert profile. What you're looking at now are the different pages that are in the presentation. Okay, this one is set up in the order that this agent wanted them in. Each page has an on-off button. So if you have interior pictures and you're going to add this page, okay, you just turn it on. After you do your master, depending on whether you're going to print it or do it from your laptop or your tablet, if you're going to print it, then a lot of these you'll turn off the next time because you only need the customized pages. So we're going to go into edit your page. And we do a lot of scrolling in here up and down. It's just the only way that we can get everything on the page together. All right, so this is the very first page of the presentation, which would be the customer you're going to be seeing, their address, and then your information obviously is down here. This little arrow to the right and left will take you forward and backwards. And underneath here is a photo gallery where there will be additional pictures that you will need as you go along. Anything with an orange box is a picture box. So you can go down and change your picture if you'd like to, just by clicking the picture and then click the box. Anything with the blue around it with an edit button can be changed or corrected. So you can go in, if you did the name wrong, you can just do a quick fix here. Okay, anything you change on a page, you're going to go up and save. And then you're going to come down and do page options, update this master page. So anything that you want to change and permanently keep, you have to make sure you do those 2 steps. So it's save, page options, update your master. All right, and then we can click the arrow and go on to the next page. Now, all of this that you're seeing in here was built by corporate marketing. All right, in the beginning, I tell everybody don't change anything, but eventually as you do business a certain way, you may want to add some other little tidbits as you go through as to how you do business, okay? So this one, we're not going to make any changes, so we don't have to worry about it. We're just going to go on to the next one. Now, this is where we can put those extra pictures of the interior if we want to. So we go down here and we're going to put this in and say large living room. Okay, and you put in it whatever kind of description you want. All right. So, but see how easy it is you just click the picture, click the box, go into the edit, and you can put, you know, for and then you hit the X and that saves it in the box. Then we're going to go up, save. Now I'm not going to update the master this time because I don't want to keep these pictures every time. Okay, but I want to save what I have here so that when I go to present it or print it, the pictures will stay in. All right, and then we're going to go on to the next one. Now these here, you see there's no orange and no blue boxes. These are locked in by corporate, and when they make an update, it automatically feeds into everybody's presentations. And this is all about Weichert and how Mr. Weichert started with the one office, and now we're all over the world. We'll go on to the next one. Now this one is, you have choices here of who you're going to put in. Obviously, you're going to be the first person. We always suggest that you put your broker in next. So I'm going to go down to my photos down here, and there should be a shot of the broker for the LBI office, and I'm going to put it in there. Then I'm going to click in this box, and I'm going to make sure I put his name in. And it's the official name, so you know, William, we call him Bill, but on his license, it's William C. Darby. So you have to make sure, because this is advertising, that it has his correct name. And then the title for your manager is usually broker manager. I know in some offices, they actually have a broker and a manager. So, you know, just put the appropriate title in. Now, next, it would depend on who you want to be in there. Okay, so obviously there's me, I'm the marketing specialist. This is our mortgage advisor, and this is our insurance. Now, a lot of people put the mortgage advisor in, which, you know, is perfectly okay. But again, it's got to be their full name, as it appears on their license. And you'll know that because I'm sure by now you've had at least one conversation and they've given you a business card. So whatever on their business card is what goes in here. Now see how we close the box and we can't really see the name? So we're going to go back in the box, and just by doing these plus and minuses, we can change the size of the text until it fits. And then this is our mortgage advisor. All right, now once I'm done, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to save. And again, we're going to do page options, update this master page. Now,
So Patty,
if you're in, yep, go ahead.
Patty, hi, it's Lynn. So those boxes are fixed width. You can't change the size of those text boxes?
No, you can't change any sizes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can change the text within it, but the size of the box stays the way it is.
Same.
Yeah, and that's just because once we generate our PDF, which we either print or show, everything is uniform.
Okay.
All right, silly question, Patty. How do I get, we have a new insurance person, insurance
Okay.
agent. How do I get her picture?
All right, her picture should be automatically loaded at corporate. So if she's been here a week or so, I would just call the tech people at corporate headquarters and just say to them, you know, her picture is missing, and they'll tell you whether it's because she hasn't got one yet, you know, or they just haven't had a second to upload it yet.
All right, thank you.
Now, if you have to add a photo, say she gives you, you know, she emails you one, you can do that down here. You can add her photo here.
Okay.
And just pull it in from wherever you saved it on your computer.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, so again, just to be sure, I'm going to save and update my master. And the reason we do the update the master is so that when you open it the next time, all of this stuff is already done and you're not going to have to do this work. Okay, you'll already have designed it. All right, now because this is one that we kind of move pages around, what you're going to look at next may not yet be on your screen, okay? Because this is an optional page, not this one, next one, sorry. This is Weichert Way. Again, you see no boxes. This is all driven from corporate, and as they update, then yours will get updated. The next one is an optional page, which we chose to add in this position. You'll see it later on at the bottom of your pages. See what, let me show. Way down here at the bottom, these gray boxes, these are optional pages that you can add in or leave out, whatever you know, works for you. This is your presentation. So you can move the boxes around to where you'd like them. And like I said, the optional ones, you can add them or leave them out. Again, this is one that you can't make any changes with, so we're just going to go on to the next one. All right, now this talks about how we're going to make it, the listing stand out, you know, to the buyers, okay? And again, in here is pre-made stuff. As you develop how you do business, you can add and subtract, but for now, I would leave everything as is. The next one down is all about photography and how important it is. Okay, this is the same room shown 3 different ways. All right, we do have a professional photographer through our home visit in our Weichert Design Center. The agents usually set up the appointment with them. I know it's a discounted price that we pay, and then they also give you a credit to the design center when you use that photography. Obviously, if you have your own professional photographer that will come out for you, you know, you're welcome to use them. All right, so we're not gonna make any changes, so we go right on to the next one. Okay, and this is our online strategy, and it talks about how we do Weichert.com. You know, we have millions of people searching Weichert.com all the time. Okay, so that's just giving the seller information about how we're going to market their home. All right, next one up Okay, this is the one now, that default button that we talked about in the beginning. See how the photos came into the little pages here? That's why you hit the default button, so that it automatically loads them up and you don't have to go in and put each one in individually. All right, and this also talks about how the myWeichert.com works, the mobile, all of that. Next one up, this was an optional page that we moved up and added. It's about how we now sell your home from anywhere. Due to the pandemic, we had to fast forward our virtual stuff. The original game plan was like for 2 years out, we were going to do this, but last year we had to, switch what we were doing, and corporate went with the virtual as fast as they could. So that's why these pages were developed. All right, the next one is our welcome center. Now, if somebody calls the 1-800 number from myWeichert.com, they will actually get somebody who answers the phone, which in today's world is absolutely unique. All right, so they get the call. If somebody's calling about your listing, that person will call your cell and then connect you to the person on the line, so that you can answer the questions, because nobody's going to know better about your listing than you. However, if you don't pick up the call from them, they will find an agent in your office to talk to the person. Okay, next one out. Okay, again, here's our default. All right, so you always want to make sure that you hit that default button. Now over here on the left, your name should be in the sign. And again, if it's a bad size, you have to kind of size it down. There we go.
Patty?
And then, yes.
This is Lynn again. Sorry, I have another question. When you made the change to your name in the beginning, did that make the change globally throughout the presentation, or do you have to go back into the profile to do that?
No, if you, that was the customer name that I changed. I know it was my name, but technically it was the customer.
Okay.
You don't have to, it won't actually come up again until the last slide.
Okay.
Yeah, so it
Right.
doesn't show up one after another after another.
Okay. But the
Yours,
boxes are,
however, comes from your profile. So as
Okay.
long as your profile was set up correctly, it will feed in here automatically.
all right. Thank you.
No problem. Underneath on the sign on the left, that second blue box, that's going to be cell phone number. Oh, and put your dashes or space in between. I forgot. I'm so used to just typing them out. Okay, and that shows up underneath. Over here, this is the postcard, the just listed postcard. And underneath your name, there is a box where you need to put your title. So I know I have people from different states, so I'm not sure what each state's regulation is, but in New Jersey, you can be a sales representative, a sales associate, or a realtor associate. And those are the only titles that are allowed, unless you're a broker. All right, so you put that in. The reason why we want these to look correct is because as you start doing the marketing and the sign goes up and the card goes out, it reinforces that you're doing exactly what you showed them you were going to do. Okay, so the sign looks exactly the same as the one that was in the presentation. And the postcard looks pretty close to what they're going to get as a postcard. All righty. So again, because we made some changes, we're going to go up save and update this master. All right. Now this is about Weichert Workforce Mobility, which is our relocation company. And basically we work with Fortune 500 companies all over the world. And as they're transferring their employees, they're working with Weichert. And so it gives you a database of buyers that nobody else is going to have, because they work exclusively with Weichert as their relocation company. So this is excellent to tell the sellers. that besides getting out on the MLS, the social media, all of that, we have a pool of buyers that nobody else is going to have access to. And again, pictures can be changed in dialogue, but this really basically comes out of corporate marketing, and they update the numbers as they change. Now this, I don't usually recommend that you put this one in the presentation, and this is an optional page from the bottom, but this is the list of, not all of them, but a sampling of the type of companies that we work with. Now there is one in the leave behind, which we're going to go over next. It's a booklet that you actually give to the person when you're done making your presentation, that shows them different things in the presentation. In that booklet, I would definitely put this, because as they're reading through it and then they start seeing all the different companies, and then they can associate the company with somebody locally, and then they realize, wow, there is a bigger pool of buyers here. Okay. Now we have the sign again, so we want to make sure in that second blue box, we have our cell number. All right, and then here it tells you 73% of home buyers still go out looking at open houses, especially nowadays, because everything is going so quickly that if they see an advertisement for an open house and it's in the area they want, you know, they want to be the first person knocking on the door. Okay. And we've had plenty of examples in New Jersey of open houses where people have during the pandemic, and people have lined up down the street to go through the house because inventory is so low, and the buyers know that. So they know they have to get a jump on everybody else.
Patty?
Yeah.
I have different information in that box than what you have.
And you're in what state?
Fishkill. So is that the reason?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to it's going to be specialized to each state. So there will be times where you'll see something that's a little bit different. All right. So don't forget to save and update your master. And I don't want to do this because that's not Patty's number and I don't want her to get mad at me. All right, next one up again is more about the open house success. Okay, and here you can talk about how we use the myWeichert system to capture the people, and they automatically, once they go into myWeichert, 4 hours later, they get the first email from you thanking them for coming to your open house. And then it helps you keep in contact with everybody who goes through that open house, whether it's one person or 15 people. The system will help you keep in touch and find out if they truly are interested in writing a contract on the house. Okay, this one we're not using so much right now, but it's an optional page. The virtual open houses that we were doing during the pandemic, the agents were basically setting up an open house. The person would contact the agent, and the agent would walk through the house with their phone and show them all the good features about the home. So rather than the buyer having to come to the house, they could do it virtually. Okay, and this is about all the services that we provide. Okay, we have the mortgage, we get discounts on our inspections, we have insurance products for the buyer. So we do all of these things to keep the buyer engaged in the deal, okay? And then we have the closing date and guarantee. Now we have the $5,000 in New Jersey, we have the $5,000 we do it all guarantee for buyers. So if we don't get to the closing table on time, they actually get $5,000, $5,000 credit. And there's other things involved in that too. And then our home warranty program. So if the seller takes out the home warranty, it covers the buyer for the next year for any appliance that might break. This is our financial page. This is just a sample, so there are no prices in here. But when you do an open house, you'll be able to work with your mortgage advisor, and they will give you a printed page that will show different mortgage options for that particular house. And it'll show them what their monthly payments are likely to be. So you display it at the house, and you also attach it to everything you give out at the open house. And if a buyer comes in and they think, oh, it might be too high, but they see an option that fits their monthly budget, it just helps them, to see that they could purchase the house. It's just one more way to keep more buyers interested in that particular home for the seller. Because sometimes when we do open houses, or they'll follow a sign, a street sign, they won't know what the price is. And they might come in and go, ooh, that's a little high, but then they see this and maybe, over 15 years, I can afford that, okay? So it just helps them see that they might be able to purchase the home. And we go through the mortgage advisor because the rates change. So we need to make sure that the rates have been updated before we print it out. This is just a sampling. Okay, this one, excellent slide for previous to pandemic, because it basically explained how we looked at the past, what's going on now, okay, and what's going to happen in the future, and come up with the best possible listing price. But we know right now that you can almost list your house for anything, and people are going to come and see it and want to buy it because inventory is so low. But it's still an excellent way to explain how we kind of look at everything to come up with the best price, so that when you present what you think the listing price is going to be to them, they have an understanding of how you came up with that. Okay, now this is about you. All right. So if in your profile you did your about me that goes on the website, you could copy and paste that right in here. All right. But you can go in and write your own if you want from here. All right, so it goes in here and then you just save it. So okay. And then whatever you put, and it'll show up in here. Now, spacing wise, if you make it long, you might want to just, go back and shrink your size down a tiny bit. And then how you can double check that is go into your page option, and you can actually print this one page, and it'll let you see if everything fit onto the page. Because sometimes we get a little wordy, the box is only so long and it may run out. Okay, so if you do, you can just go back in and change the size of your text until it fits in the box properly. And again, this is something you're going to want to do once and keep, so don't forget to save and update your master. Okay, this is the Candyland map. Years ago, there was actually like this little brick road that went behind it. This has been in the Weichert system for as long as I can remember, and I'm 21 years in with Weichert. All right, it really kind of goes over everything that goes on, okay, that you're going to do for them. What happens is other agencies Once they get to the point of getting a contract, they hand the contract to the lawyer, and then the agent has no contact with the client until closing. And we've seen that happen lots and lots of times. So what our benefit is that we don't stop just because we got you a contract. We help you get to the closing table. And this is your pledge to them. You're going to explain everything as you go. You're going to return their phone calls. I mean, these are just common sense things. Obviously, you can add more if you would like. All right, but this is basically what you're going to do with them and for them. Okay, this is our Jumpstart program, and it kind of tells them all the different things that we're going to do as we get ready to put their house on the market. And some of the stuff gets done even before it goes into the MLS. And there is an optional picture in here for people that are not big race fans. If you go down, you should be able to find this one, and you can switch it out if you want. Okay, and if you switch it out, then again, save and update your master. All right, this is always the last page. And this is what we were talking about before about the name change. It didn't change it down here. So if I had to make the correction, I can just make it here again. All right, Weichert's, for years, our program was invite us in, we bring results. And they kind of like the sound of we get invited into their house. So we thank them for inviting us in and letting us make our presentation. Okay, now this is an optional page. See on the left, it's gray. If you're going to be a big social media person, you'll want to include this into your presentation. So a big social media person is not just Facebook. Okay, you're tweeting, you're Instagram and LinkedIn. That's what all of these little signs are. So if you are going to have a extensive social media presence, you want to tell them that. And then you would add this page to your presentation. This is if you do work in the local community, and after a while, all of our Weichert offices do all kinds of community involvement things. So you would be able to add pictures and put in the information and then add that also to your presentation. And the reason why you do all these things is to show that you're out in the community, making you, really the neighborhood specialist, about the community, you're involved in the community. And like I said, if you are now, great. If you're not, eventually you will be, and you'll come back in here and update this. This is an optional page for the about me that we talked about before. So in here, see, she has all her information in. Photos up here can be just any photos from down here if you'd like, or any photos you'd like to upload. So if you're a dog lover, you can put that photo up. You can put your own dog up there. It doesn't matter. These personality traits in here, you're just going to change them out to who you are.
Patty, I'm sorry, I missed, how do I get this set up so that there's 3 pictures on the top? I don't have that.
It didn't show up as an option in gray at the bottom. Okay, so give me a second and then I'm going to show you where you actually can go and add it. All
Okay,
right.
all right, yep,
Okay. All right. So after you make your changes, you do your save and update your master. Now up here to answer your question is add a page. In here, you're going to find other optional pages that you can put in if you would like.
okay, great.
Okay, so you can see there is a mess of them down here.
Yep, I see, got it.
Okay, and all you do is you just click on the page that you want to add. And it'll put it into the presentation. Where I was, I guess. No, here. Nope. Where did you go? See, every now and again, even I mess up a little bit. I don't know. Normally it goes to the bottom, so I'm not real sure where that one ended up, but we'll see it in a minute when we go in the other way. So once you're done with all of your corrections, you're going to go back to arrange your pages. And then if there are optional pages you want to move, you're going to turn on the move button, find the optional page, and then you're just going to move it with the arrows, and you can place it wherever in the presentation you feel that it fits. So I'm going to move this one over here because I'm going to turn this one on in a minute and that one off. So once you're done with the moving, then you're going to hit the save button. Then you're going to go through and take a look. Is there anything that you want to turn off? You turn off. So if I didn't have these pictures, I would be turning this one off. And now I have two here. I'm going to turn this one off and this one on. Okay, and then this one is going off. All right, so now I have everything kind of the way I want it. I've moved all my stuff around. So I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to go to update master, and I'm always going to update layout and content. That way, if I change the word somewhere, I'm not missing anything. If you do just layout, then it's only the slide's position that it saves. It doesn't save what we updated. All right. And then when you're done, you're just going to go over here and hit create the PDF. And it only takes a minute or so. It's a lot of pages. And my suggestion would be that you print these pages out and you kind of review them, because remember, this is you presenting to your client. So you have to be a little bit familiar what's on the page. Okay, so then you can download it here or print. If you download it, it downloads as a PDF. And then if you have a PDF editor, you can actually make it a PowerPoint presentation to show people, or you can pull it up as a PDF and just show them and slide through each slide and talk about it when you make your presentation. Okay, and it's all exactly like we just went through with the edits. Any questions? Okay, so we're going to go back here. Now we're back on our screen where the presentation was. Over here, there are now other things I can do. So I want to go to my leave behind. Okay, and now most of these pages are going to be exactly like they were in the presentation. So this page here with my team, you're going to have to update, you know, in your master so that you have the one with everybody in it. You can double click on it and it'll open it. Okay, there are also pages in here that are not in your presentation. And these are here, showcasing your home. So that basically tells the seller how to get their home ready for showings. Okay, first impressions count. And then there's little tips on what to do when somebody's coming. and it's great. It says like baked cookies. People sometimes put cinnamon sticks in a little pot of water. It just gives the house a homey smell, and it makes people feel at home. So there's all kind of little tips in here for that. All right, and then this one here, you see how the photos came in because we used the default. And then, they're a vertical presentation of what we do in the big presentation. And everything pretty much is in here that was in there. And here's that list. See, when you're reading it from here and it's printed out, it's a lot clearer than this is. And they'll be able to look and see, like I said, very impressive when they're flipping through the binder and taking a look at it. Now, your processing manager should be able to help you print out the leave behind and put it in the booklet itself. The booklets are bound at the office. And it just is an amazing presentation of why we do more than everybody else, okay? Mr. Weichert used to call them the wow points, and you need to wow people. And these are the things that do that. All right, so the leave behind again, you change anything, you're going to save and update your master just like we did in the presentation itself. All right, your photo gallery is underneath in case you have to change out pictures. And then when you're done, you're going to save, and then you'll create that PDF.
Hey, Patty,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the letter. In the leave behind, there's a letter.
yes, there is.
On the bottom there, it has 2 blue boxes. Is that the name?
Oh, yeah, it should have pulled in your name.
So my name and my office address?
No, it doesn't have to be.
So the second one, should that be?
Does it have a closer like the sincerely?
Well, up there, it's got sincerely and my name, and then down below at the very bottom.
Okay,
What should
that
be there?
could be because maybe in your state there is something else that you have to have on there according to the board.
Okay,
Okay, so maybe you do have to put in the office address, but in New Jersey, we don't have to on the letter. Because
Oh,
we're
okay.
not mailing the letter separately, it's in the booklet.
All right,
Okay,
very good, yeah.
yeah, that would be my thoughts because each state is.
Oh, right there.
paperwork is-
Wait, Patty, go back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good, okay.
Down, 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 down,
Hang on,
down.
I got the card because I got my box there. Okay, found.
There. See, it
Oh,
has
this
Patty
one?
Sloan and the address. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the address of the client. So that's
Got
always gonna be, that's just to make it easier for you to put the booklet together at the
Okay.
bottom of the pages, and you'll see here too, they did it.
And the name is the client's name also?
It's gonna be the client's name, not yours. I know you're looking at yours now, but that's the client.
That's what I was wondering. Good, thank you.
And that way, yeah, it just helps you, especially in offices where the processor's putting it together and people are printing out a whole mess of stuff. It helps them keep it sorted to the right person.
Good, very good, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so like I said, once you're done, then you can download here. And then you'll print it out in color at the office and have it bound together. It's a very impressive booklet. And as far as I know, nobody else is doing this. All right, so back where we were, I want to show you one more thing, and this goes back to Mr. Weichert and his wanting to wow people. There is a property business card that you can edit and print. Okay, so when you go to edit, you're going to turn on the group edit so that when you type in this box, it changes everything in the other boxes. Okay, so let's say I want to make my address look more like an address. So I can do that. And close it and see how each box now has the new way I put in my address. In this box, It should have your title, what office you belong to, the office phone number. It should really have your cell. I don't know why we don't have a cell in here. And you always have to make sure you identify the office and the cell either by spelling out cell, putting a C, or spelling out office and putting the O. Okay, and then I'm just going to close that out. And now that's been changed on every card. This is the card you should take when you're going to make the presentation, because you're not giving them your business card, you're giving them their home. And that is definitely the first wow. All right, because it's not about you, it's about them. On the back, you can put in here, you know, just a general description that you'll use every time. So you could put in here, you know, contact me for a personal and private tour of this lovely home. Okay, and then you could just save that and save it up here and update your master, and then you never have to worry about the back of the card again, because it'll always put that particular comment in, which kind of works for everything. And then what happens is you give them the one card after they sign with you and agree to list with Weichert, then you give them the other 9 cards to hand out to whoever they would like. And the card, usually the office keeps card stock in for you to print it on, and it's obviously double-sided. So, all right, so you would create your PDF in order to print. All right, and that is basically everything I was going to go over today about your listing presentation. So now you built your master. So let's go back to projects. So now I want to do a new one. When I hit create my new project and I put in my new people, it's going to change those customized pages. Remember the one with the social media and the photos and the postcard and the photos. It will change those pages, but everything else in the master will stay the same. So every time that you go out on a new appointment, you're going to create a new project. And then if you are showing it by printing it, you're only going to print the 7, I think it's 7 customized pages and slide it into your presentation. If you're going to do it electronically, you're just going to create the new PDF and go from there. All right. Now, one last thing, and then I'm going to let you go until Friday. We want to make sure that you are building your business Facebook page. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There we go. Okay, so in order to have the right background or cover photo, I guess they call it in Facebook. I'm not a wonderful Facebook person. Hang on a sec. Come on. I clicked you. Okay, so one of these backgrounds you're going to find in the myWeichert under the Weichert tools, Facebook, because it's going to ask you to upload things when you go.
I'm sorry, should I go to Facebook now?
No, I just want you to see where you can go make choices.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go in the Weichert tools, and if you go into the tab that's marketing resources, in here you're going to see different Facebook covers. Always focus on the realtor ones, and if there's more on the next page, yeah, see, like you have the brownstone. There is also the unless they took them out. No, there they are. Okay, so there's Main Street, suburbs. Each one, always use the one for the realtor. But see how they have just a little bit of a different background picture, and it is out of focus on purpose. Okay, so when you're looking at the different ones, Main Street, it's fuzzy in the background on purpose. So you're going to pick one that kind of works with your area. And then you can just download it. Sorry. So you pick the one that you want, you right click, save the image, and file it on your computer where you'll find it later to upload into your Facebook. So on Friday, the first thing we'll do is build a Facebook page, a business page. So if you don't already have a Facebook, if you email me, I'll try to do a one-on-one with you and kind of get that set up so that then you can do the business one. Or you can just have a business one, that's up to you. But since the system does a lot of automatic things for you to the Facebook, we want to make sure that you have a Facebook business page.
So if I have a personal Facebook, I shouldn't use that. I should use a Facebook business page.
Yeah, we'll build a business page off your personal one. So they'll be a little bit connected.
Okay, should I
And
call
then
you
you can
directly?
decide, yeah, if you want to post on your personal and your business, or you just want that on your business page. You know, that'll be up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Patty, what is your email address?
It's P Sloan, SLOAN, at WeichertRealtors.net.
Okay, great.
Okay. I am going to, I see some other people came in, so bear with me 1 second. I want to make sure I have everybody on my list here. I'm going to send you guys the link to my YouTube channel so that you can look at the videos that we already did, session 1 and 2, and this one will be up probably tomorrow morning. So it gives you a reference point you can go back to and, you know, review anything that you might want to. Also in there, you'll find there are some other training things that you're welcome to take a look at. All right, any other questions? Okay, I appreciate that you guys came today. And again, we should be back on track for Monday, Fridays, knock on wood, because my January was bad, but hopefully now the rest of my year will go well.
It's Wednesday, Friday, right?
Wednesdays and Fridays.
Good, okay.
You know,
it gonna be this
and like I said, if you
same-
have any questions in between, feel free to email me. You know, and I normally get back to my email, you know, by the end of the day. And I'll be happy to, you know, help you with anything in the system that you might be having an issue with, or questions about where you know, something you might want to do. You know, just email me. Okay.
Patty, is this going to be 11 on Friday or 12:30 on Friday?
12:30 on the Friday again. I
Okay,
had,
are they going to stay at 12:30 or?
no, I was hoping to go back to 11 next week. I had a corporate thing I have to be on. I had to be on today, tomorrow, and Friday, so I had to move ours.
Okay.
But I'm hoping next week to go back to 11.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
feel bad because it got kind of messed up a little bit.
That's fine.
Yeah, but we'll get back on track. And like I said, the very last one will be just an open forum where you'll come in and we'll chat about whatever you'd like to talk about.
Patty, I'm so sorry. I had to take a phone call with a client real quick and I just stepped away. What was the schedule you said for Friday? Did you say 12:30 again?
12:30 Friday, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Jen. All right, you guys have a good day. And oh, wait a minute, homework. Sorry, I forgot about the homework. I want you to download the background, the cover for your Facebook, and then I want you to pick a farming area. Most agents start with their own neighborhood, but that's up to you. You know, if you want to farm a different neighborhood in your town or whatever. But I want you to pick an area because we're going to talk about farms next week. Make sure that you're got your success plan going and you're in at least week 2. And then the last thing is drive around your neighborhood, and if you see a sign for a FSBO, write down the phone number and the address.
Is this homework for like the Facebook for this Friday or
Friday.
is for this Friday? Okay.
Yep. Okay. Once we get your Facebook set up on Friday, then we're going to do your first posts. Okay, so you'll actually be posting on Friday. One other thing that you might want to do ahead of time, if you get a chance, is find some groups in your area that let you post business stuff. You know, sometimes there's realtor sites and different things, you know, and make a list because you're going to want to join those groups, because Facebook is kind of like you tell 2 people and then they tell 2 people and then they tell 2 people, and that's how you build a following for your Facebook. So if you're in groups and your posts are you're sharing your posts with the other groups, then they share it with other people, and more you get your name out there. It's all about getting your branding out there. All right.
Nope, sorry.
No, go ahead, Fran.
Technology is really overwhelming for me. So when you said find other groups, find other Facebook groups?
Yes, other Facebook
Okay.
groups.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do a search in Facebook and look for some group, or ask your manager, because I'm sure the office is got you know, a list of different Facebook groups that they belong to.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right. I will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye, take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.